Bob Cooney back at you from the VR Arcade Game Summit at Amusement Expo 23. And we're going to head over now to VRsenal, one of the most innovative companies in the VR business, and talk to them about how they're solving the biggest headache that amusement operators have when it comes to virtual reality.
What I think is the biggest innovation we've seen in a couple of years, once again from VRsenal, they have been working since 2017 to make VR unattended and reliable. So we're going to be talking about the headset. So I am here with Ben Davenport, and Ben is holding the new HTC Focus 3, which they have fully armored for unattended VR cabinets. It's the headset that's been integrated into the new Monolith system that VRsenal is bringing up to market with two different games, Zombieland Headshot Fever, which has an integrated gun, which we'll show you in a minute, and Synth Riders, which is follow-up to Beat Saber. But the biggest innovation is a cable.
That's right.
And it's not just a cable. It's really a new distribution power and data system. So talk a little bit about how you've reinvented the headset cable for VR arcade games.
Well, as you know, it's the Achilles heel of VR. It's no matter what country you're in, no matter what brand you're using, and no matter whether it's attended or unattended, if you got a headset, it's getting its power and its USB data and its video data through that all-in-one cable. And it's got over 30 little wires in it. And to get 30 wires into that cable, they're so thin. They're like hair thin. After they bend a few times, they break. Because that HDMI cable was designed to be plugged into a DVD player and then plugged into a TV and never move.
Yeah.
And so we kind of inherited that as a legacy piece of hardware that wasn't really designed for movement. And it's been put under this duress. And, you know, as everybody knows, it breaks every few months. And so what we've done is we've gotten rid of the HDMI cable entirely, worked with HTC over the course of last year, and have come up with a very robust solution that now uses the exact same cables that we've been using under constant play, 1 million plays a month all over the world. And those cables have been lasting 2 years.
Yeah, so that's the cable he's referring to, uses 22 gauge wire.
That's right.
And it basically delivers power to the Vive controllers in the Beat Saber cabinet.
Right.
And nothing takes as much abuse as a Beat Saber controller cable.
That's right. I mean, the flex cycle is right there, that thing with people just flexing. I mean, it's a very difficult problem to solve. And those cables have held up wonderfully once we nailed it. I mean, and that took, some time. But right now they're lasting 2 to 3 years. Now we've taken that exact same cable, super robust, and that has replaced the HDMI cable. Took quite a bit of engineering. We had to, put a full 4-layer PCB onto the headset and a 4-layer PCB onto the computer. And like you said, create a whole new data and power distribution system. But what that's resulted in now is we have a cable that we warranty, a headset cable that we warranty for 2 years. And there's nobody else in the world in the VR industry that'll do that.
Yeah.
And that's a game changer.
And what's happening is that all of a sudden operators are hearing that that's possible. And so Ben's offering this product as an OEM headset to other manufacturers. And so Stephen Tan was just commenting before this saying, boy, we're really hoping for a commercial, solution for headsets to make them more reliable. So go talk to Stephen and Eunice when we're done here.
That sounds good.
Now you're offering this cable. You're going to be building conversion kits for existing VR arcade systems and offering that headset and cable and board solution, distribution solution. Starting for VR Rabbits, that one has been developed and tested, and you're selling that now, right?
Well, and we're in discussions with LAI as well to see, where that lands. If that's a solution that works, that will be available through them, potentially to their customers.
Yeah.
We're in those discussions, and that system has been developed, and it is fully functional. And it's a headset. It's not, the problem has never been getting a headset to work on multiple devices. The issue has been those cables. And so it's just a matter of figuring out how to disseminate this into the industry, and, whether that's through existing sales channels or outside those channels, still trying to feel that way out to figure out how we can get this solution to not just hoard it to ourselves, but make it available to, relieve this pain point in the industry at large.
Yeah, it's been the thing that slowed down the growth of VR as the standardized display technology for arcade video. And that I've been predicting for years that was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to take us this long to come up with a solution, but yeah, well done to you and the team at VRsenal for continuing to push, into what people just keep thinking are not possible. I know a lot of arcade game manufacturers of VR that basically said, operators seem willing to put up with it, and so we're just going to roll with it. And once people, it's like the 4-minute mile. Once somebody broke the 4-minute mile, about 50 people ran 4-minute miles in the next year. But it took 100 years or 200 years to do it. And I think now that you're pushing the envelope, operators see what's possible, and they're going to demand better equipment. And the fact that you're willing to, offer that to the industry is great and generous. Yeah,
it is one of those things that we all just had to say, VR is the future, and VR is meaning the butt. But, if you want to be part of the future, you just got to put up with it. And that's any new technology. It goes through that curve, and then that technology ultimately needs to, mature. And people expect those headaches that were there during infancy. Just like with a child, you don't expect to be feeding that kid, spoon feeding him his entire life. You expect him to get to a point where he can feed himself. And the industry's, doing that. Those technologies come along in every single field that eventually solved the initial headaches that the first adopters got in on.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Great work.
Thank you.
And so we're going to kick the HDMI cable to the curb. That 4-wire cable is super durable, and it's going to change the game for virtual reality for operators, which means more manufacturers are going to make VR, more operators are going to buy VR, and more distributors are going to support VR.